Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for Scorpio gang. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us in the Scorpio collective here in mid-January? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio in mid-January. Capricorn season, what's the vibe in 2025? Let's get this card out here nice and quick. I mean, after last week's reading, I can't wait to see what we got. Now, we do have a bit of a softer energy starting this off here. I mean, I like seeing this in water sign readings, so I feel like this is nice. I get this in Pisces and Cancer a lot, as opposed to Scorpio. But I feel like this is a pretty good energy for us here, and it's imaginative. It's a little daydreamy. I mean, anything like that can be pushed to the extreme, but we'll talk about that further in a moment. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this lovely lady in the purple dress. She is in like a very etheric setting, right? Like there's all these clouds and different colors in the background. There's all these hot air balloons and nonsensical things happening. So it does remind me of Dreamland. So for some Scorpios out there, watch your dreams, because spirit might be trying to send you some messages through dream. Okay, that's for a specific set of you. But aside from that, I think this is creative. It's imaginative. So for a lot of us, now is a great time to think outside of the box, express ourselves creatively. That could be a good outlet for a lot of pent-up energy. But another thing with this card, sometimes it could be a little overthinky, right? Like maybe your imagination's running a little too wild. Maybe you're overthinking a situation a little bit. This could also be fantasizing too. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little fantasizing now and then. But this card can sometimes get a little stuck there. So that's just something to watch out for. And like I said earlier when I first started reading the energy, it's like you can use this energy as an outlet as opposed to letting it consume your brain. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I think we could vibe with it. But let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. It was titled A Serious Warning, and I was picking up all sorts of funky energies last week. Like someone making us go into like investigation mode and withholding information and situations we need to keep an eye on. There was all sorts of stuff in last week's reading. So hopefully this past week hasn't been too rough on you, but just know that that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. So we're going to hope for a little gear shift this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take it how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Scorpio. What do we have here in mid-January, please? 2025. What's happening for my good friends? Thank you. 4 swords. That showed up in Pisces too. So it's a bit of a slow start. Nothing wrong with this. And it does link to the dreams. It does link to the imagination, just like that oracle card. So this is a very prevalent energy for a lot of us in this time. Let's get a couple more. Let's see what we got. What do we got for Scorpio, please? What do we got? Thank you. Knight of Pentacles, slow. Moving, though. Something that's at least starting to pick up steam, which I do think is nice. Let's get that tucked in right there. Let's get one more out. Let's see what we have for Scorpio, please. What do we got? And then there's the mystery again. So we do have the moon right here on the back end. Not a bad card. Again, it's an energy we could vibe with, but this etheric energy that I've been seeing, this imaginative, it's like non-physical type of energy, which is super bizarre. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, elementally, we have a nice little mixture. We've got a little bit of air. We have some earth. We have some water. Now, we could vibe really well with these 2 elements. So to me, I feel like, yeah, there's a lot more positive than there is challenge. But with what I'm seeing, like this card links very closely to the oracle we had. Then we also have the moon, which is also etheric and dreamy. So there's like a lot happening on the energetic level for the Scorpio collective. Either that or there's mystery. There's some sense of mystery, which I picked up last week as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, because it's like not really moving, starting to move, and then there's some unknown factor showing up here. So just know there could be certain factors in your situation that aren't quite known just yet. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, though, because I feel like this could be complex, because guess what? Every Scorpio reading is complex, right? I'm sure you guys know that already, just like our lives. But position number one, we're starting here with the Four of Swords. Generally, I see this as a neutral card, a positive card, and we see this individual, it looks like they're taking a nap in a church. It's a very odd place to take a nap. But this card does link into meditation, sleep, dreams, all the things I was already mentioning. So again, watch the dream states. Maybe you need to rest up a little bit. Maybe some of us are having a little insomnia. I know I do from time to time. But this Four of Swords is about rest and recuperation. So for some Scorpios, maybe there's something you're going to give it a little break, give it a little pause, wait a minute. Like that's a big thing with this card. It's like, all right, well, just give it a pause, give it a little break. Don't pressure anything. This card is like letting something evolve naturally, which is a really good thing. In the challenge, the Four of Swords has some similarities to the next card we have coming up, because it could just represent, you know, things that pop up, situations that are very stubborn, or so it's like problems or situations where it's like, all right, what do I do now? Or I don't want to use the word insurmountable, but it seems like it's something that's difficult to move forward. So we'll see what that is. Again, it doesn't have to be the negative aspect. It could be the good one. Remember, it's very spiritual and it ties to rest and all that. And I want to continue to say that, especially with the Oracle and what we have here on the back end. There's something about what's going on the etheric plane or the energetic realm that's building up strong. Position number two, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, you might be connected to an earth sign, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. That's not the case. All knights represent action. All knights are also messengers. Little newsflash about this guy, though, he is the slowest of all the knights. So whereas this Four of Swords isn't moving at all, this one's moving just a little bit. It's like, all right, I'm seeing incremental progress with this card, and I wish it would move a little quicker. I wish it would expand a little quicker. So sometimes it can be frustrating in that sense, but let's talk about the positives. It is very detail oriented. It's great when it comes to like money, career, finances. This could be a good energy that's slow to come in, but once it does, it is like highly profitable. Now, it can also just be a talk or a message, especially with when we go from the Four of Swords into the moon. So I'm going to see what kind of communication or talk that this could represent, because he can for sure. But again, with his problems, it's very similar to this Four of Swords, where it could represent something that's a little sticky, a little stubborn, something that's just not moving forward the way you want it to. So watch out for frustration, because with these two energies tied together in the front, it's a little frustrating. It's getting me like, grr. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Moon card. This is one of the more intriguing cards in the whole entire deck. This does link to the Pisces collective. Some people also give it to Cancer because their ruling luminary is the moon. So whether you're connected to people under that sign or not, this is a card of intuition. It's a card of the ether, psychic gifts. Your gut might be telling you something. There's a lot of energetic stuff happening here with this card. So spiritual, sleeping, the nighttime, like it's all interwoven, interconnected here, Scorpio. This is the biggest card of mystery, and that could be a positive, but that can also be a challenge, right? Because this is an energy that is not clear. This is an energy that's a little bit obscured. So whether it's a result that you're wanting, it's like, all right, well, how am I going to get from here to there? Or how am I going to push this situation from this to that? I mean, it might be a little bit of a mystery, or it could just be telling us about the situation or talk. We're just going to have to see. But I just have to mention again, with all this etheric energy we're picking up here, even if things aren't changing on the physical level, this is telling me like, all right, Scorpio, there's stuff happening on the energetic plane. Just try not to get caught in fantasy land. I don't know why I'm giving that message again, but I'm going to give it to myself too, right? But let's go through. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. What's happening, my guides? And yes, this is where I go intuitive message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Four of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, See what this Four of Swords is about. I mean, maybe for some of you, things were quiet and you like it that way. I guess it's a matter of taste and what you're going through. But when I see the Four of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, it's stable. Some of us like it like that, right? So if things aren't really shaking or rocking, I don't want to speak too soon. Let me clarify. What's this Four of Swords about? What is this Four of Swords here? Thank you. You might need to give something a break. Okay. Now, there's a time and a place to be a social butterfly. I feel like for a lot of Scorpios, which are, I mean, most Scorpios are very in tune with energy, especially people they're connected, people that you're around. I don't think being social is too beneficial for a lot of Scorpios in this time. Okay. With the Three of Cups in reverse underneath the Four of Swords, it's like, all right, well, either you need to give something a break, or you need to give it a little bit of a rest, or just stop giving energy to. You might need some alone time to regenerate too. That's a bizarre type of message that I don't normally get. Now, the Three of Cups, it did show up in reverse. This is a card that's usually very good. In the upright, it represents celebration, happiness, joyousness, merriment. These are people having a damn good time. They're partying it up. Sometimes it could represent our circle of influence, the people around us. So when I see it in reverse, it's like, all right, well, there's either some people that you just need to take a little break from for the time being, or it's like maybe you shouldn't put your energy into social stuff. Now, I will also say this for a very slight few of you. The Three of Cups can sometimes represent indulging, okay, whether it's overindulgence of various pleasures of the flesh. So when we see it in reverse underneath the Four of Swords, there could be something that Spirit's saying like, hey, maybe just take a break or tone it back a little bit. Again, I'm not one to give advice like that. I'm not going to tell you what to do. We're all free to do as we wish. But when I see the Four of Swords with the Three of Cups, it's either you need to give a person a break or you need to give something a break. It could be very regenerative for you to have a little isolation. Let's keep moving. I'm getting such odd messages here. Let's see what the Knight of Pentacles has. Let's see what's that. Yeah, because to me, it feels like I'm taking a step back. I'm isolating my energy. I'm protecting my energy. So let's see what the Knight of Pentacles has. Why is it here? Knight of Pentacles, thank you. Don't give up on something either. So it's like, all right, well, you could take a break from something, but you don't have to take your ball and go home. That's another vibe I'm getting here because I have the Eight of Cups under the Knight of Pentacles. Now, there is something that's going to start picking up steam, and this could be a possible breakthrough at some point. Because I will say this, now we have the water and earth combination here in the center. That usually is a very abundant type of vibe. So it's like, all right, you're going to start seeing something is going to slowly start picking up steam, which is good. It's going to go from not many results to a whole bunch of them. Now, the Eight of Cups sometimes could represent walking away from things. Right? To me, I just see it as a general card of action, but I did give that intuitive message. Yeah, there's something you might need to take a break from, but there's also something that you shouldn't completely give up on. So that could be two separate things. It could be the same thing where it's like, oh, no, we're just taking a little break, taking a little rest, taking a little step back. It doesn't mean that you're disappearing forever. Or someone is. I mean, listen, these energies are coming out very peculiar. So again, only take what's yours. But if you're in any situation where you want change, you want something to shift, or things aren't ideal, I think this is a good alignment. The Knight of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups. It's like, yeah, the element combination. It's like, yeah, things are going to start moving. You do have a breakthrough coming in. But again, notice this is also dark. It has the moon. So there's like this shrouded energy showing up all over the place this week. Let's go in on the moon, see what that has to say, and then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Most unique reading this week, that's for sure, but I think I say that a lot of the weeks for the Scorpio readings. But let's see why the moon's here for Scorpio gang, please. What's going on? Thank you. All right, so I do feel with the Seven of Swords in reverse, which is another mysterious card, there's a lot of hidden energy. So whether it's something you're purposely hiding, whether it's like your reaction or your concern about something, I'm going to say best case scenario for a lot of Scorpios, when I have this Knight with the Eight of Cups moving towards all this, of course, this could be an unexpected, surprising talk or conversation that you weren't expecting to have, where it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting to talk about this, or I wasn't expecting to talk to you right now, so I am getting that unexpected or surprising talk or message. But let's talk about this Seven of Swords a little bit, because it might have shown up in last week's reading. The Seven of Swords, it did show up in reverse, which is a good thing, is In the upright, a card that's not really trustworthy, right? It's a card of secrecy. It's a card of things going on in the shadows. In its best case scenario, it just represents something we don't quite see. In its worst case scenario, it's like a snake-like type of energy, like a thief or someone that you shouldn't trust. So I'm happy that it showed up in reverse here, underneath, because that's an energy coming forth. So for a lot of you, if there is something where you haven't had full clarity, that could come in for you, where you could finally start making sense with something where it's like, okay, things are starting to clear up now. Now I see it clearly. But again, there's just so much mystery here, whether it's you like trying to suppress or hide something or somebody else. But I will say this, with the way the energy does move, it's like we have the solitude, then we have like an energy seeking something out. So I do feel for a lot of you, it could be an unexpected or surprising talk happening here. But at the same time, mysteries popping up, unknowns becoming known, aha moments and information coming to the surface. So it's all over the place. So again, if you're in a place right now where your path forward isn't very clear, I would expect it to be very, very soon. Could it be tied to this talk or conversation? Possibly. But let's go through and do a quick recap, because there is a breakthrough energy here as well. Position number one, we're starting with the Four of Swords and the Three of Cups in reverse. As I already mentioned, this to me felt like giving something a little bit of a break, where it's like, all right, just pump the brakes on that for a little bit, slow something down. For a lot of Scorpios, you might do well with a little isolation. Odd advice, but that's just how it felt. Like you might be too energetically sensitive in this time to be around too many people, because it could be too stimulating for you. But for some of you, if that is overindulgences of any kind, Spirit could just be asking you to tone it back a little bit. Moving to, take a break. Moving to the center, we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups. You don't have to give up on something completely. It's okay to take a little rest or a little break if you need it. But another vibe I'm getting here is the energy will break through at some point. So it's like, yeah, the energy will start moving. You will have a breakthrough of some sort. It's not going to stay stuck forever, which is a good thing. Moving to the back end, tons of mysterious energy all over the place. All the biggest cards, aside from the Two of Swords, we have the Moon with the Seven of Swords in reverse. This could represent your path forward becoming known, or information coming to the surface, mysteries being solved. Like, I know I'm speaking a little grandiose, but when this alignment's together, it's like, okay, I get it now. This could also be representing an unexpected or surprising talk. I see it here with the way the energy moves over and connects to it. It's like bringing information, because I always see the Pentacles, or the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, looks like they're holding the sun. So it's like he's moving into all this mystery and darkness with it. So again, take it for what it's worth, Scorpio. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. So let's get it going here. What do we got for Scorpio gang, my guides? What do we have? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end. Just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get your shadow card out. We definitely need a shadow card with all this mystery this week. What do we got? Thank you. Ten of Pentacles. So it's very peculiar, because you started the reading with the same or very similar one that I was seeing in other water signs, and this was the back end one for Pisces too, I believe. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is usually a very positive result. I feel like it's an expansive energy. It's a good energy. It's a solid, stable energy. So for a lot of Scorpios, with this showing up in the shadows, that's a fantastic thing. But let's talk about the shadow side of this card. This card can represent living situations. It can represent the home and the family. So watch out for any situations involving those. But if that's not the case, the Ten of Pentacles could be very, very stubborn in its ways. So whether you're dealing with a stubborn person, maybe you're being a little bit stubborn yourself, listen, no judgment here. The Ten of Pentacles could be very inflexible. Okay, so when this shows up as a shadow card, yeah, maybe the energy is a little gunked up for now, but it's not always going to be the case. And this is a very positive card anyway. So I see a good result coming in. So Scorpio, my friends, that's what I got for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.